Live from KTVN Reno, you're watching 2 News at 5:30.
So if we didn't have the shutdown, we could have done a lot more.
Federal employees are getting back to work this week. How one local agency is playing catch-up is tonight's 2 News big story at 5:30. And with the government shutdown finally over, at least for now, federal workers are getting back to work, hoping to see a paycheck sometime soon. I'm Landon Miller.
I'm Kristen Remington. Thanks for keeping it here. But for some agencies, for example, USDA Forest Service, they have their work cut out for them. Elizabeth Olveda joins us here in the studio after speaking with one employee there. And Liz, they have a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah, Kristen, while some of their employees worked without pay, some were furloughed and now are scrambling to make up for lost time. The shutdown affected several of their programs, including one that might even have implications for fire season. The doors of the Humboldt-Tobbe National Forest Supervisor's office are finally unlocked after more than a month of being closed.
Right now, we are getting our employees back on duty. We're trying to get them paid.
The government shutdown was hard on its approximately 200 employees, to say the least.
But a lot of our young employees, they have families, they're single income.
Even for Hupp herself, who already has a bit of experience with shutdowns.
I did have to dip into my rainy day fund, and I'm glad I had put it aside because I didn't have it on the last furlough. So I learned my lesson the hard way.
Critical service positions had to work without pay.
Most of our law enforcement was out there patrolling the forest.
Others were initially furloughed but got pulled back in when problems piled up.
The garbage got to be quite a bit, and so that's when we realized that we were going to have to bring the recreation staff back in.
Several projects came to an abrupt halt. An especially important one affects our neighbors in southern Nevada.
The work that was being done in Lamoille Canyon from the Range 2 fire, we were fixing the guardrails, and that had to be postponed.
Hupp says they typically do most of their hiring in the winter for the upcoming fire season.
A lot of training occurs in January, February, and March for some of our firefighters, and a lot of that has been canceled.
Especially slowed by the shutdown is their prescribed burn program.
We may not get as much as we had hoped done this season.
Meaning that even though the shutdown is over, the delays could have ripple effects lasting into the foreseeable future.
Critical for our vegetation management program and also for our fire seasons.
But for now, they'll do as much as they can with the time that they have.
We're ready to hit the ground running.
I'll let you know.
Now, Hupp wanted to thank the community for their support, including their nonprofit partners. Now, that support will continue on Wednesday and Friday this week when the Department of Employment, Training and Rehabilitation, as well as Job Connect, will host a resource fair for federal workers affected by the shutdown. For more information, you can visit our KTVN News app. Covering the big story live in the studio, Elizabeth Olveda, 2 News.
Liz, thank you.